Okay. Now let's look at user interface design. So what is interface? Actually, what the user sees on the screen is the user interface. Now, how are you going to design it? So point number one is have hierarchy. So when you have a text, don't put everything in the same font or the same size. Use different hierarchies. For example, you can write something like this: H1, H2, H3. You use this hierarchy so that it will be clear what you are trying to convey. The message will be clear. Even though they don't read everything, they will read the highlighted parts. Depending on the hierarchy, they will read it and they will understand the content. So try to use hierarchy. And the second is color. So use colors in such a way that important things in the user interface should stand out. For example, this is a website called ASOS. Now if you see this website, everything in the website is in white and gray. So gray background, white. So everything is in white and gray. But the most important things, one is the outlet and the other one is add to bag. So bag means here cart. So add to bag and outlet. These are the two important things that you want user to notice. So whenever you want something that the user has to notice, use contrasting colors in such a way that those colors stand out. So in a gray background, green and red will stand out. And then coming to size, if you try to convey your message in a very big font, for example, this is Coinbase website. So in the Coinbase website, their main business is to buy and sell cryptocurrency. Okay, if that is the main business, if you can put it in one line, just see that in the hero section, which means the main part of the website, the top part, you try to say that message in bigger font. So by writing like this, it will be clear that this is what the business is. Okay. And then layout. So don't write everything like this. Okay. So it should not be like a plain paper and then it should not be like an essay, right? Instead, use layouts. Use different sections for different information so that user will quickly go to the section he is interested in. Have headings there for every section. Now user may not be interested in reading everything. He may be interested in reading only certain part of it. Then it is always better to split it. If you have images, then you put the images like this and then see that the text wraps around it, just like how newspapers are. Generally in a newspaper, it is very easy to go to a section. If the newspaper is like top to down, everything in one order, it will be difficult to find the information. So when you are using the line length, don't have too long lines, it will be difficult to read, and don't have too short line lengths. People have to scroll down a lot, they have to do infinite scrolling. Instead of that, you have to choose a line length which is just right. Okay, not too long, not too short, it should be just right in such a way that it will be easy to read and there is no too much scrolling down. And then alignment. So always see that the text is aligned in some manner. So in this case, if you see it, it is not aligned. So the heading is center aligned and the text is left aligned. But see that everything is aligned, it will look good and it will be more readable. So here if you observe it, everything is aligned. Okay. And then white space. So we know that the space on the website is very what I can say is very precious. So you might see that we have to use the entire space. You might think that. So earlier days, websites used to have a lot of content on the web pages in such a way that the entire real estate is used. But writing too much does not look good. For example, for a headphone ad, for a headphone selling company, you can do it like this and cover the entire space, but it looks way too cluttered and it is not very appealing, and your sales will depend on how good your website is. If you write like this, it looks like circus. It is not very appealing. But if you do like this in a Apple kind of way, it is simple. So understand one thing, less is more. The less you write, it will convey the message better. Okay, and then understand your audience. So depending on the audience, you have to design your website. For example, if you are designing an invitation for children, there is a children's concert, so this looks way too professional. This looks good, this works, but this kind of invitation will be better for marriages or any event that is related to professional things. But for children, this might be more appealing, even though it looks like circus, but you have to understand that it is for children. Now, if a child sees both these letters, which one he will go for? He will go for this, right? Because it is more playful. So depending on your audience, you have to choose the kind of the format that you want to use, either the colors, fonts, some pictures, some decoration, right? That depends on whom you are targeting. So if your target audience is children, then this one is better. Thank you. So user experience is all about designing the website in such a way that user should be able to find your product or service or whatever he is looking for very easily, without hiding it too deep. So for example, maybe the number of clicks a user goes through in order to purchase a product should not be too many. It should be like 3-4 clicks and he should be able to buy the product. If you are burying the information too deep, like for buying a product, if he has to take 10 clicks, he is not likely to do that. So I will give you an example about user experience. Let us say there is a university and there is a lawn. Okay, so this lawn is having grass on it. Now you are supposed to build a path on this lawn. So now, without knowing what a user will use, where he will walk, if you just build the track, it will look like this. So your track is here, but if you observe it, users are using a different track. So they prefer this track. So now user experience is all about keeping in mind what user will likely use and laying the path over here rather than this. Okay, so that is user experience. So user experience is all about guessing what user is more likely to do and then building the website in such a way that it will be very intuitive. So he should not search too much. He should not be like lost in your website. It should be very intuitive that generally whatever path the user is going to take, you should lay that path. For example, if you look at e-commerce websites, there is no need of any tutorial about how to use an e-commerce website. If they have used one e-commerce website, or it will be, they will know exactly where to click, where the information is, how to search and all that. They are pretty standard. So you have to follow those standards. So whatever user is trying to, if the user is having some behavior, you should actually follow, take that behavior and build your website. So there are principles. One principle is that it should be simple. Your design should be very simple and the user should be able to find what he wants easily. For example, this is a Chinese website, which is a news website. See how cluttered it is, and finding for some information in this website is very difficult. Now you see one more website, so Monocle. So in this Monocle website, everything is still cluttered, but finding out the information what you are looking for is easy here, because there are few sections and every section stands out on its own by different colors and then by different fonts. So it is easy to find information on this website, right? And then consistency. So whenever you have a a website, all the web pages should be consistent. You should not change the things on the website, the components on the website, their placement in every page. For example, if there is a search bar, now if the search bar is on top left or top right of the web page, main web page, all the web pages should also have search bar there. Are you getting it? And then if you are selling some products on your website, every product should have the same kind of look and feel. So if you are selling, let us say, a phone, then it is going to have a web page. Now if you are selling earphones, even that earphones and phones should have similar web pages so that it is consistent. So consistency is important in UX. And then reading patterns. So by research, people have found out that there are two patterns that people follow. So whenever they read a website, there are two patterns. One is the F pattern, so like this, and other is the Z pattern. So that they have found out by research, like where their eyeballs are going on the website. So your website should be organized in terms of either F or Z. So F means it will start from here, go here, and again start from here, go till here. Like this, they will read. This is how it seems that by research, I'm saying, by research, we found out that, people have found out that this is how people will read the websites. So you have to organize the content in that way, like this, like this. So in form of a F. And also they follow Z pattern. So both patterns are popular. So they read the top and then go across the page and then go and read at the end. Therefore, having a sign up button here will be helpful, because after knowing everything, so put all your important information here, here, so top, across, and then bottom. And then all platform design. So you should design your website in such a way that it is going to be easy to use on both the laptop or on a mobile or on a desktop. So if you design your website in such a way that it is good on laptop, but on mobile, if it takes a lot of space, for example, like this. If you see this design, there are some links here which are very tiny and our fingers can't even select them separately. So it is very difficult to view here. But if you see this button is very clear, and then clicking on it will be easy. So you should always remember that a user is going to watch your website on many platforms, and your design should be like, it should be visible on all the platforms without any trouble. And even this is not good on eyes. So the font is very small and you cannot see everything. And then the one last thing is, don't use your power for evil. Now that you have a lot of audience, now don't make them click something which they don't want, and don't hide the information that they want. So especially airline websites are very notorious for this. So while booking the ticket, they are automatically going to add the travel insurance, some amount. And then the funny part is, if you have to delete that travel insurance, then you have to click many times and search for the information. They are going to be hidden deep down. And also sometimes unsubscribe button. So when you have subscribed to a mailing list, and if you want to unsubscribe from that, they will hide the unsubscribe button many layers deep that it is impossible to find, so that people won't unsubscribe from their services, right? But payment link will be at the top. I remember a story here. So many companies, not just Amazon, they don't have this customer calling number, that service number, customer service guy's number on the top of their website. Many companies try to hide the phone number for the customer service, many layers deep. You have to do some research for half an hour or so in order to find out where the customer service number is. But then there was a website called Zappos. So I think it is still there. You can check it out. Zappos, there is a wonderful book written by him also, Tony Shea. He passed away, but Delivering Happiness is a very good book. So in that book, he wrote that he intentionally kept the customer care number on the home page at the top at a bigger font. Generally, no one will do that. People will try to avoid getting calls. That is extra cost. But then he wanted users to have a very good experience. That is why he has kept that number in bold letters and at the top of the front page, so that people can easily find it and people can call them. And also he made sure that he has given some bonus for the people who talk more on the phone. So generally people try to cut the call immediately after you call. For 1 or 2 minutes they will speak, and after that they are busy and they cut it. But the longest call is 23 hours. So one customer had spoken to the customer service executive for 23 hours. Okay, so this is a very good example of design. So don't use your power for evil, right? So I will show you some of the examples. One example is the airlines example, where they are not going to show you how to take off the travel insurance. And also sometimes they will add on some other things, like food is automatically added, and if you have to delete it, you have to do a lot of research for it. So automatically they are going to charge you extra. So one more example is, in e-commerce websites, you can see that checkout with express delivery will be highlighted, but checkout with normal delivery will not be highlighted. Even though there is normal delivery, they will highlight the express delivery so that you will click on express delivery and pay more. This is one example. And then this is a funny example. So one designer has designed the website in such a way that when you are looking it on the mobile, it looks like there is a hair strand on the shoe, on your mobile. See, this hair is actually inside the picture, but then it looks like your mobile is having some hair on it. Then what will you do? You will either swipe right or swipe left. Now automatically it is going to add the shoe to the cart when you swipe it. Okay, so they have written the code in such a way that when you swipe it, because you want to remove the hair, the product is automatically getting added. So this is really not a good idea. I mean, people will eventually find out. So they will find out that that is a fake hair, which they tried to add item to the cart. So don't use your power for evil. And then sometimes they will give you a language which is very difficult for you to understand. So this entire part is very difficult for you to understand because they have used no longer, not, and then not. So it is not plain English. It could have been written in simple one line, but they have taken a lot of text, so people will be tired to read this, or they will not read it in any way. So they don't want people to click on this, check on this. So that is how they have designed the text. They have kept the button, but this is how they have designed it. Okay, thank you.